In this first of 3 videos, I'm going to be going over the study guide review for our congruent triangles unit. So on our first page, we have to first classify each triangle by its angles and sides. I've listed ways we can classify by angles and ways we can classify by sides. The way we can classify by angles are acute, right, and obtuse. And the way we can classify by sides is scalene, isosceles, or equilateral. So the first one we have to look at is ABE. ABE is this triangle right here. It has a right angle in it, so I know it's a right triangle. And also, all sides are different. It's a scalene. So I'm going to call it a right and scalene. Next one to look at is BEC. If I look at BEC, that's the one right here with the point down. You have to be careful. This side right here is 7. This side looks like it's 2 and this. Well, this is 5. This is the same. Which means this side right here, BE and EC, because that's 5 and 2, that's 7. Those are both the same. So that's, and they're all acute angles. So it's an acute triangle, and 2 sides are the same. So it's isosceles. Triangle DEF. DEF is the one right here. I notice that I have 3 marks on the sides here, which means it's equilateral. That goes for our sides. And equilateral triangles are automatically acute because each angle is 60 degrees. So I'm going to go acute. I'm going to call it equilateral. Our last triangle in this set is CDF. CDF is this one over here. And what it looks like to me is this is 2. This side, again, we know is 5. This side is different. But I do have an obtuse angle right there, so it's definitely obtuse. The angle is bigger than 90. And it looks like to me that all sides are different, so I'm going to call it scalene. Alright, in our next problem, they want to classify triangle QRT by its sides, and they're giving us coordinates here. So what we have to do is, given coordinates, classifying by its sides, we're going to choose one of these up here. Scalene, isosceles, or equilateral. So I need to find the length of QR, RT, and QT. And what we need to use for that is the distance formula. Okay? So QR, write those 2 points. It's going to be -2, -1, and it's 1, 5. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract my x's. -2 minus 1. It's -3, but again, we're going to ignore the negative sign for now. And then I'm going to do my y's. -1 minus 5. That's -6. I'm going to ignore my negatives. Again, what I do is I square both of those to get 9 and 36. And the last step I do is I add them, which is 45, and I put in a square root symbol. Let's look at RT. R is 1, 5. T is -8, -4. I subtract my x's. 1 minus -8, that's 9. And 5 minus -4, that's also 9. Square them. 81, 81. Add them together. That is 162. I square root that guy. So far it's looking like those are different. And QT, that's -2, -1, and the coordinates for T are -8, -4. So I'm going to subtract -2 minus -8 and -1 minus -4. That gets me 4, and that gets me 3. Alright, what I do here is I square them. 16, 9, add them together. Square root of 25, which is actually equal to 5. Now notice I have square root of 45, square root of 162, square root of 5. They're all different. It's going to be a scalene triangle. If you came up with 2 of the same answer, it would be isosceles, and if all 3 were the same, it would be equilateral. In the next question, they want us to find the measures of the missing angles. Well, what they tell us here is that these lines are parallel, And we know since this is 64, this is corresponding angle. So this is 64 in here. Angle 3 is 64. What I need to do to get this angle 1 right here is I need to go 180, take away 88, because it is a supplementary angle. That's going to be 92. Well, now what I can use is the fact that I have 92 and 64 inside of a triangle, with my third angle being 2. So to get this one, I'm going to go 92 plus 64. It's going to be 156. And then I'm going to take 180 minus 156. And it's going to be 24 degrees. Alright. What I do know here is that this angle, which is 64, and this angle, which is 81, and this angle, which is, we don't know, equal 180 together. So the first thing I have to do is add those together. 64 plus 81. That gives me 145. Alright? And we know that this piece plus those two makes 180, so I'm going to do 180, take away 145, 35 degrees. Now what I know is I have a triangle, 64 and 35, and I gotta find the other one. 35 plus 64, that's 99. 180 take away 99 is 81. On the problem over here, what I can start with is I know that this angle right here and number 4 are vertical angles, which means that's 115. They're congruent. What I do know is that 2 and 5 are also vertical, but let's figure that out. These two right here make 180 degrees. So 180 minus 115. This is 65 here. Which means angle 2 is also 65 degrees. Here I have a triangle with 80 and 65. I want to find the third angle. So I'm going to go 80 plus 65. That's 145. And I'm going to go 180 minus 145. It's going to get me 35. So angle 1 is 35 degrees. Okay, the last thing we have to look at here is, to find angle 3, what I'm going to look at is this triangle right here. And what I know is that I have a 61 degree angle and a 90 degree angle. I can find that one. So I'm going to go 61 plus 90. That's 151. 180 minus 151. It's 29 degrees. Angle 3 is 29 degrees. Alright. And what I can do for this angle 6 right here is I know that angle 1 right here is 35. This angle right here together would be 80 plus 29, which is 109. So 35 and 109 together with 6 will be 180. So I'm going to go, to get this angle, I'm going to go 180, excuse me, 35 plus 109. That's 144. And I'm going to take it away from 180. And that's 36. Last but not least, I do know that angle 6 and angle 7 make 180 degrees. So to get angle 7 here, I'm going to go 180 minus 36. That's going to give me 144 degrees. Now on question 5, I have the interior angles in a triangle. And number 6, I have an exterior angle with 2 inside angles. So to find, when I know that I have 3 interior angles, I know that the sum, when I add them all together, is going to be 180 degrees. So I'm going to set that up. 8x minus 35 plus 6x minus 5 plus 3x minus 1 equals 180. I'm going to combine my like terms. 8x plus 6x plus 3x, be careful of your signs. 8 and 6 is 14, 15, 16, 17x. Now here I have negative 35 minus 5 minus 1. going to be negative 41. 2 steps to get my answer here. I'm going to add 41. 17x equals 201. I'm sorry, 221. And I divide by 17. 221 divided by 17 is 13. X equals 13. We can stop there. That was our answer. When we have an exterior angle, we know the exterior angle equals the sum of the remote interior angles. In other words, the sum of the two angles that are not touching or across from the exterior angle. So I'm going to say that 5x minus 11 plus 2x plus 20 equals 11x minus 63. I'm going to draw my line down here just so I don't get confused. I'm going to combine my like terms. Now only everything on this side can be combined, not with the stuff on the right hand side. So I have 5x and 2x, that's 7x. There's a negative with that 11, plus 20. Negative 11 plus 20 is 9. I'm still not dealing with 11x minus 63 because I can't combine those. What I need to start doing is deciding how I want to move things across the equal sign. So I'm going to add 63. 7x. That together equals 72. Those cancel out. 11x is left there. I'm going to take away 7x on both sides. That's gone. I have 72 equals 4x. Then I'm going to take 72 divided by 4. That's 18. X equals 18. We don't have to go any further than solving for x.